Next, let's figure out where you're going to film. You need to be in a room with bright, indirect light and a really simple background. I looked all over my house before I settled on this spot right here in my office. I'm going to give you a 360-degree view so you can see why I like it and why I chose this space. I have a nice wallpaper in the background. I did put my own books on the shelf behind me, but I don't think they're too overwhelming or intrusive. One thing I don't recommend is shooting with a bookcase as a backdrop, which is something we writers might be tempted to do, but it turns out it looks way too cluttered. A blank wall, a totally blank wall, would be better than having too much stuff behind you. Now, as you can see, I'm sitting at the end of my desk, not in front of it. I just happen to have an adjustable standing desk, so I was able to move the desk to the right height for the tripod I have. But if you don't have that, a stack of books can help get your camera to the right height as well. I have a bright LED light that I'm bouncing off the wall right next to me. I'm not shining that directly in my face, but it's balancing out the light. I also have a big window and a skylight. You don't want a window behind you because it'll be too bright. It's much better for you to be facing the window. Ideally, you can film on a bright day as long as the sun's not right in your face. The more natural light, the better. Finally, there's a few other small lights in this room, and I turn on every single light when I'm filming. It makes more of a difference than you might think. One other thing. I tried a lot of different cameras, and the reason I settled on my iPad was that the camera's built-in software made adjustments to my skin tone, so it wasn't too blotchy and there weren't any bright, glaring spots. So if you're not happy with the color balancing on your skin tone, you can try to adjust the lighting, but it might actually be the camera. So try out different options, even if you just have to borrow a few things from friends and see what works best. When you're picking a location, be sure that you also have room for your equipment. You're going to need a monitor for the teleprompter, so a laptop or another tablet, or I use my desktop computer. You're going to need the camera you're filming with, and you're going to need a chair that's positioned close enough so your microphone can reach. I recommend that you sit when you're filming. Sit up a lot straighter than what feels natural to you, and tug your shirt down to make sure it's not bunched up anywhere. I recommend wearing a structured shirt with a collar because it'll hold your microphone better, and especially for women, if you have a really soft, clingy top, it can look weirdly wrinkled on camera. If you do want to stand up, I want to give you a trick that local newscasters have taught me, which is stand with your feet extra far apart. It forces you to stand up straight and stops you from swaying or leaning or moving around too much. All right, once you have your location, let's get set up to film.